Hello again, everyone. This is Mark White, continuing my discussion with Dennis Fernandez, head of the Intellectual Property Strategy Group at White Summers. Dennis, we're talking about execution on the way innovators should be creating products, and really how you engage with clients in a meaningful way and extract from them what you need to know to advise them properly. And so let's talk about that. When you talk to a client and understand what they're trying to build or what they have built already, and they come to you for advice on strategic protection in anticipation of where markets are going, what do you look at? What's important to you to know from the client? What do they have to tell you for you to be able to advise them?
Well, first I have a short list of checks to make sure that we're not about to miss a deadline. So if they're announcing or they're ready to launch, we need to know where they are in terms of the timing.
Right.
And also if they're tainted because they've been collaborating with other parties outside of the company, we need to know that, because that could quickly destroy their patent rights. Or if they've been accused of stepping on other people's IP, we need to know that. So there are some few, right off the bat, kind of diligence kind of questions that come up. Strategically, usually we'll try to file quickly on what they can document already, okay? So this is the low-hanging fruit from a practitioner's perspective. So if we can file even the same day or that week or that month on material that they already understand. So technically if the inventors and the startup have already solved certain technical problems and started to design something, without getting too clever, we'll just file on that as quickly as possible to secure an early filing date. Because often it's already well documented. They have drawings, they know, if you speak with the lead inventor, the engineer, or the founder, they can tell you off the top of their head, usually in less than an hour, what's going on, okay? So we can converge on a fileable draft quickly.
And that's defensive in nature. So you're reacting at the moment on what is being created.
We're just locking up what they are doing, okay? Yeah, and it protects their engineering effort at that moment.
Okay, so now,
yeah.
But you're going beyond that.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
Then I spend time looking at the project more from an investor perspective. Okay. In fact, purely. And I asked them, well, how are you going to win in your battle with the competitors in this future market? Okay, I mean, are you selling something, or are you providing some kind of service to cater to some kind of market need? Okay, so I really want to understand what the competitive advantage is, and how technology enables a prototyping design or some kind of software automated service or something in combination, okay? This is not always easy, even for startups that are funded with a business plan. They don't know, okay? In fact, not because they don't want to know, is they don't want to commit yet, okay? And they're not sure, okay?
Well, they're not sure because they're not in the market yet, right? So they
really don't know.
But nobody knows.
Yeah, we ran into this. Actually, we run into this almost every time with early technologies like carbon nanotubes, energy sources. They really don't understand how they will distribute products through channels that people will buy in consumer applications.
Right.
Because it's still raw technology that is compelling with dozens of potential applications, okay? And so that can be quite paralyzing.
So what's interesting about this, it's a dilemma, Because an innovator creates a product. You're asking for competitive distinction. The innovator doesn't really know till the product is in market and you get a reaction. You have to build for what you think the consumer enterprise need is. So you've got this catch-22. And the reality is you're building innovation for what the consumer of that solution requires, because that actually, getting back to some of our other discussions, creates the standard of how you break through to solve that need. So really, do you need to know what the invention is? Or is it more of a focus on the customer and working back towards the innovation, right?
Yeah, we do both. Like virtual reality is a buzzword that's coming back.
Right.
And I mean, even if you gave me one today, I'm not sure what I would use it for, okay? So there's a lot of gaps still in the infrastructure. So there's an emerging ecosystem of technology converging with market applications that's trying to solve essential needs beyond just the curiosity of this new gadget, you know, like smartwatches that people buy.
So what's interesting in this analysis is that it's more than a technical analysis or examination. It is looking holistically at the invention, the customer need, how it's going to be used, and the feedback loop as well, because that's how you change products to really adapt to what the market use is, which is only known for sure after launch.
Yeah, this problem I think is unique to information technologies because you have so much flexibility in how you integrate chips and software and wireless communications to come up with products, okay? It's actually not like that in other technologies, like in pharmaceuticals, where you have a molecule that treats a certain type of cancer, and you know, I mean, there may be some variations on whether it's a pill or a shot, but that's it, okay? Here we have a lot of scenarios where it could be bundled in your smartphone, it could be given away and then charged later for subscription services.
And by definition, there's speculation there, because you can't go out and test it, because then you've got publication, right? And it affects your ability to patent because you've got to work within that 1-year window. And so you've got to think about what you believe the application and the use to be. You design the product and then you file as well. Now you can adjust later on, but you've got this dilemma where you can't go out and test in public. You've got to do some private, survey process, test cases, which is contained in order to preserve the innovation and your ability to patent downstream. And so that's this whole idea of how do you get this feedback before you innovate and before you patent. You've got to do it really in a private scenario, a silo of some sort.
It gets tricky because, one of the questions I always ask the inventor is, how can you detect in a competitor's design around if they stole your idea? Ostensibly, it's a black box and you're just looking at signals on the surface of this software through the user interface. How can you tell that there must be embedded in the chip somewhere they're using your algorithm? And so we have to plan for that, Mark, because that's really the licensable touch point that we want to define.
And so, cutting to the chase, what this really means is that innovators got to think about this in advance before they build anything, even before they design anything. And they should be talking with you or someone like you, or amongst themselves as an innovation team, to think through this process. And it is a process, but it's also visionary in many respects, because there's no cookbook recipe for figuring out what to build. Otherwise it'd be easy and everyone would do that. Okay, let's leave it there. Again, fascinating and not easy to do. Thank you.